Bullhorn, Betty. Thank you for my shirt. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Kids Club. Woo!
Good job.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flaws, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
My bite's not close to my bark, buddy. And slid down so we can see a red suitcase right here for law enforcement if they're watching and you guys would like to come back here. Of her being out here. So this is what we're doing today. We will see you guys back here real soon.
I'm a say this right here, baby, because some of y'all be acting like y'all don't be seeing it. But, baby, playing victim in a situation that you created, oh, yeah, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. Hello, somebody. How you gonna create the storm, then get mad when it rains? How you hurt somebody and then get mad that they hurt? How you damage somebody, go outside your way to destroy a person and then get mad when they no longer want to deal with you? Baby, playing a victim in a situation that you created, oh, baby, that's narcissistic as hell to me. I'm sorry, but it is.
Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
My beautiful people of YouTube, I hope you are having a happy manic Monday. It is a little cray up in here. I monitored this whole search for Danelo Cavalcante literally all day yesterday. We had so much content go out on TikTok. I also wanted to show you guys something. Details matter. Details matter. Because when we're out here, and this is why I hate working from home. I like to be boots on the ground. We don't make mistakes when we have boots on the ground. When we're armchair detectives living at home and covering cases from home without having bodies there, you rely on other people's mistakes. Guys, notice anything of mistake in here? Maybe it's like 2002 white Ford Transit. When you're getting information out and it is like life or death, you're trying to get as much information out to the audience because you've got a lunatic running the streets of the United States of America. We thought he was in place in Pennsylvania, but now we're learning they have no clue where this man is. And so this man has already killed 2 women. One in Brazil and one here. The reason why he was going to killed the one here is because she was about to tell law enforcement that he had a warrant out for his arrest from Brazil for killing another woman. And so he offs her in front of her kids. Well, he was just subsequently convicted about 30 days or so ago, and he was being transported to the state prison system. Well, he didn't make it. He ended up going out into the rec yard. You know, this is a fenced-in area, has razor wire fencing, you know, around the rec yard. It's supposed to be very secure, you know, prevent inmates from getting out. And it's usually open. You know, you just have the wires around it. They're not caged in on the top. And maybe that needs to be the case across this country. Remember, this is a privatized a privatized system now. The government has no control. They're in privatized companies and other things. So people make money off the backs of our criminal system. That's why you have to pay $15 for a cup of noodle soup, right? So you got all these things. I'm sorry, but this is unexcusable in our society today. These are private prisons that need to be secured better. And that's the responsibility of these private companies. Quit making money and not putting that money back into these prisons. That's your responsibility. And we have an escapee on the loose. And not only that, but they didn't even report him for 2 hours. This is the problem with these private companies. They're so scared of getting in trouble. They want to keep it all quiet until they can. And look at the situation that we're in. Way to go, privatized prisons. Way to go, privatized prisons. Now, I don't know if this prison was privatized, in all fairness. It could be the county prison ran by the county commissioners. Either way, right? Either way. They need to close those tops in. We don't need to have this. We're learning, because social media and there's a whole true crime sector out there, that this stuff is moving very fast. We're learning now how many people actually escape from our prisons on a yearly basis. And it's a pretty scary number of people. And at this point, enough's enough. I don't care what you do or what you have to do. I don't care what money needs to be spent. And you know me, I'm very cheap. But I don't want this. This here is costing way more than we bargained for. This man should have been extradited back to his home country. He shouldn't even be here on our land. As soon as he was convicted, he should have been transported to ICE and shipped back to where he came from. I'm sorry. It sounds to me like he's illegal here. He's not supposed to be here. His sister is, obviously with ICE right now. So it sounds like his sister's not even really supposed to be here. So again, if that's the truth, now we have an illegal that has killed a woman in front of her 2 children, should never even have been here to begin with. And now we have millions and millions of dollars just being poured out searching for this animal that's yet again loose on the streets of the United States. And trust me, he's not the only one. I don't know what to tell you. Not the only one. But, text matters. When you're trusting this stuff, you need the information. And this said 2002. Why am I bringing this up? Because a lot of people say that I get everything wrong. No, I don't. When I'm home, I rely on other people's work. And when other people's work is wrong, guess what? My work's going to be wrong too, because it's not a 2002 white Ford Transit. It's a 2020 white Ford Transit. That gives, when you're getting information out to the public, time and seconds matter. And giving them the wrong vehicle description is a bad thing. And that's exactly what I did. And I had to go back and correct it. Good morning, Gigi for Life, TL. Unicorn, Indiana, nice to see you. Believe, it's nice to see you. Trish Howard, Sissy Lala, nice to see you. May, Teresa, Hindsight's 2020, Southern Grammy Wolf, Ruby, it's nice to see you. Denise, Second Thesis, TL. Who else do we have? Pat Gaines, it's nice to see you. TL is Morning Love. Jack's Drama, nice to see you as well. Today is our crotch gate, and I did not get our list, so we're going to push that to probably Tuesday. We'll probably pull the stuff as soon as our live is done. I'll have to go through all of them because I've got to send all of them out to our community tab first and make sure I didn't miss any, because I don't want to vote on something and somebody's thumbnail was overlooked, because I was putting them all up and then all of a sudden we got several all in at once and I was just so busy I didn't get a chance to get them up. So I'm going to have to go through my entire list of Crotchgate thumbnails. We'll get those up and you guys can vote on them, and whoever is the winner, Sonia's going to prepare you guys a shirt and I'm going to pay for it, any shirt you want. So you're getting a free Bullhorn Betty t-shirt, any size, any style that you would like. Who else do we have in the house? Pebbles, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What else do we have? I saw Regina. Good morning, Regina. Kathy, it's nice to see you. Leaf Lover Liz, as always, nice to see you. Philippians. Joyce, Smell Like a Rose, Extreme. I think I got everyone. If I missed you, I do. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you, love. God bless you. If I've missed you, just a big blanket good morning. There is a Sub-Zero Flames. Good morning. Did I hear Dumplin is in the house? Dumplin, I see you. Good morning, love. Against Crotch Recording. I love it. I love it. You guys are crazy. You guys are crazy. So what did we learn yesterday? And then we're going to kind of get dovetail into other things. I'm going to get to a drama, a contention, a drama situation here. We are finally realizing what is going on in the Layla Santanello case, and it's very concerning and very upsetting to me. It really is. So I've learned that we've been having this kind of battle because this guy's, I mean, I'm a content creator. I go out there and search, but I don't have paying customers, right? Our channels that I have on multiple platforms generate revenue that helps get me out to the places that I need to go to search for these people. So it's kind of, it's a self-funded type of show. We generate revenue on here, and that revenue is spent keeping the lights and stuff on, but also giving us the resources necessary to get out. Sometimes we have to raise some funds depending on how expensive the trip is, but typically I can what I make off here, I can do, if as long as it's a local trip that doesn't require airfare, I can typically get out somewhere off at least one trip a month for the channel, just off what we make. And so I've never ever, nor will I ever charge a victim's family ever a dime to ever go out and provide them, flyers, banners, our bodies out there, gas to get there, food to stay there, lodging and stuff like that. We have never, ever once charged families money. Many of you know I've been talking about this Yahoo PI, the one that was meddling into the Kylie Rodney case, and the family finally told him he had to leave. There was a big embarrassment where he shut his whole Twitter account and Twitter page down for, I don't know, months. He shut his Twitter page down literally for months. And so all of a sudden he's back up, and now he has this huge team, right? He only had himself before. It sounds like a person he might be dating now that's helping him. That's what it really sounds like. Either way, he came out on Twitter and started talking bad about me for no reason. And it was lies. It wasn't even the truth. Like he still is under the impression that I just picked this case and got into this case. No, we were invited into this case and we went right out and started helping look. That's how the truth of the matter is. We didn't even hear about this case. We didn't know about this case. We were sought out and we provided resources. We're happy that we did. We were happy that we were able to get this case in front of so many people when it wasn't getting in front of anybody. My heart bled for Layla's mom because she was begging so many people for help and not one person would really help her. And so we went out there, we didn't even ask our audience for money. We asked literally nobody for money. We went out there, to be honest with you, there was something that I saw in Layla that I saw in myself and my heart broke for her. So naturally I was gun-ho to get out there to help because I feel bad because I keep thinking kind of like Jim Santanello is my mom, because this story literally, outside of the substances, this story literally could have been me. And that's really where my heart kind of attached to this case. And so we went out there and we were able to make this case go viral on TikTok and really brought a lot of attention to this case. Well, it did bring unwanted attention. And so I never understood why this guy was attacking me. I don't know him. I talk about him. I have no qualms with him. But it's clout. He needs to start because he has no name for himself. He's crap. In the real world of PIs, he's a joke. It is what it is. I work with licensed PIs on a regular basis, and his behavior is laughed at. Okay, there's no, and you could have your own opinion about it or whatever. He's not acting like a professional PI. Come to find out, he's been on there arguing with me for days about how he does pro bono work for these cases because I asking him to prove. He said he found 14 people. And so I asked him to prove it. There's 14 people in 2023. I'm sorry, you bring home 14 people, your local news is going to, pay attention. They're going to see your name popping up. They're going to see these reports coming on their desk. That's how it works. And they would be jumping for, an interview with a guy that brought home 14 people. They brought home 14 people, saved 14 people. He's going to be on something. There's going to be an article. There's nothing. But we do know him from the Kylie Rodney case and what a crap job that was and how awful that turned out, right? and how embarrassing that was for him, being kicked out, being embarrassed by the family, and having to shut down his Twitter page. We definitely know his behavior, and we've seen it firsthand. And he's trying to discredit me and trying to be nasty to me and say, oh, you don't have credentialing. Babe, you might have credentialing, but you ain't worth your weight in salt on that paper. Because you don't need to be reaching out to people for business if that's the case. People come to you. You found 14 people in 2023. Yeah, I mean, your reputation should be attracting every single piece of business across the United States. And missing persons. I mean, anybody with a missing person should be beating your door down, buddy. And then come to find out, he's been begging Layla's father and stepmother for money. For money. Yeah, he's truly licensed in California. That's true. He's asking the family for money to fly him out there for his room and his meals. His rooms and his meals. And he has a pilot license. And he's been on there for days saying how he does all this stuff out of the kindness of his heart, and he does these cases pro bono. That doesn't sound pro bono to me. Now we know why the second account, GoFundMe account, is set up. It's not to support the family, her father or her stepmother. It's to fly him in and out from California to Kingsport, Tennessee. By the time you pay for one trip, airfare, car rental, hotel stay, and food, you would have already paid for yourself to have a licensed PI in the state of Tennessee that doesn't require to be flown in on your dime every time they need to do their job. That is a freaking joke. And he's literally out there working right now to raise money to fly him to go do his job. And then you know what he says to me? Oh, you're not credentialed. I'm credentialed actually probably more than he'd like to know. It's not the credentialing he wants, but I definitely passed several level 2 FBI background checks. I definitely know how to search. I definitely know how to bring attention to a case. And I definitely know how not to beg a family for money. That I definitely know how to do. All of that days and days of arguing with me, telling me how wonderful he is and how he does all this work pro bono for his clients and how he doesn't broadcast it. Well, yeah, if he really has a client, he broadcasts it to everybody. That's why we know he doesn't have jobs, because they would be on Twitter if he did. And they're not, by the way. But the one case that he has been able to con into, he's actually got his hand out saying, hey, pay me. Give me flight money. Give me hotel money. Talk about disgusting. This family is struggling. I guarantee the father is a mess. He's trying to just do the best he can, and he's got these vultures coming out and just attacking him. Oh, and it's all Bullhorn Betty's fault. Because people don't have eyes and ears and can't think for themselves. It's Bullhorn Betty's fault. And not only that, did you know somebody because of the comment made by that reporter in Pennsylvania, that Pennsylvania news conference about first of all, Jonathan Lee Riches is credentialed. He works for your content. So that butthurt Betty that was like, oh, these fake journalists, I mean, from the professional ones. Well, he writes articles, babe. He goes all over the country, and I hate to bust your bubble, but he's probably even more well-known than whatever reporter was asking that question. So at the end of the day, just like law enforcement says, there's nothing they can do. We have a right to be there. We all media has a right to be there. I understand that, regular media is a dying breed, that, these reporters are getting a little, they're feeling a little boxed in because the whole behind the scenes has changed with them. A lot of these reporters had their own cameramen. because of the financial constraints, because let's face it, social media is getting the news out there quicker and faster than news organizations. News organizations aren't willing to sit people out in front of scenes for hours on end unless they're a national organization. So these local, when you have these big cases, these local stations are just getting swallowed whole, because look at Jonathan Lee Riches. He had over 100,000 views on his channel, whereas this reporter that's complaining about him being in town is probably being, those views are being pulled from her. You know, if you're not, the early bird gets the worm. If you're not willing to put in the work to get the views, then don't sit there and complain to a freaking police chief that you're upset that there's media out there, alternative media. That's what we are, alternative media. And whether people think that we're credentialed or not, at the end of the day, that the law dictates what can and can't happen. And at the end of the day, the Constitution, you know, the supreme law of this land identifies us as media under the law. So your opinion can be that we are not media. Your opinion doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, it matters what's in our laws. It matters what's in our laws. That's what dictates what I am and what I can and cannot do. Not anybody else, because clearly they don't know what the hell they're talking about. Let's face it. But I thought it was really sad that I find out after days and days of him telling me how he's the best PI and how he does all this pro bono and how he's helped so many families pro bono and he doesn't ask for a dime and all this other stuff. Literally all this other stuff. Days. You guys know I've been telling you I'm going to keep the argument going just to see how invested this professional PI is going to be in this, right? And he's an idiot. He's a fool. He's a joke. But he's also trying to get money from a grieving family. He's not asking his audience for the money. He's not going out and trying to find sponsors for his trip. He's literally asking a grieving family to pony up the money to fly him out there. How many times is that family going to have to fly you out there to do your damn job? Just curious. Just curious. Thank you, ex-sailor. You know, I love the last name. I got to be honest with you. I am a major Purge fanatic. I watched every single one of the Purge episodes. I watched the TV series. I think that kind of failed, but I can't remember. But I've watched. I'm like a major and major Purge fanatic. I am. So every time I see your name, because I don't have cable anymore. And I used to watch it. It was it on USA or ABC? I can't remember what channel it was on when they brought out the series. But I loved the Purge series. And so I got away from it because then COVID hit. Yes, I love the Purge. Well, I don't know if you guys know. They actually had like a series that came out about the Purge. Like we had all the Purge movies. Well, then they made this series that came out and then COVID hit. And it's like, you know, the series all just kind of died. Like I loved that one. I loved Sons of Anarchy, but I believe their series actually ended. We saw the final ending. And I think another movie or TV series came out and it was, I can't remember. It was another motorcycle type of movie. Either way. So I wanted to give you guys an update on what we did yesterday because I wasn't really on here on YouTube at all. I think I did maybe 1 or 2 videos on here, but most of my videos were uploaded on TikTok. So I just figured we'd come over here and get updated on this. And I have to be honest with you, guys, we're 4,000 subs away from hitting 100,000 subscribers on my TikTok. 100,000. We were at 73. It's been 73. It's been stagnant at 73,000 for like a year and a half because a year and a half ago I quit working on TikTok. And so I've recently come back to TikTok. And so just over these last few short weeks, we've acquired over 20,000 new subscribers over on our TikTok. So we're 4,000 subs away from 100,000. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited about that. And I'm really excited about all the love and support that I have been getting over there. It's been nice, you know. I just removed it. Hold on, let me put it back up. There we go. It should be popping up. There we go. So I wanted to give you guys ideas of why I went through that whole dissertation about the Google search. It's because one of my first videos was wrong because I based it off this stupid news article, right? And I don't know. I mean, that's what I checked a couple of places and they all said it was a 2002 Chevy and I couldn't find any transits. They never made transits in 2002, you know? So anyways, I just wanted to give you guys updates on everything. Let me get this all up.
By law enforcement this morning. Chester County residents are being told by law enforcement this morning that it is possible that Danelo Cavalcante has escaped their search perimeter. We are learning that convicted murderer Danelo Cavalcante has escaped the search perimeter set up by federal, state, and local agencies as of yesterday, stating that they saw him on a camera and knew that he was in the area. We're learning this morning, 10:17 yesterday morning, Danelo may have stolen a church work van and is now escaped the area. They're also reporting that Danelo is clean shaved. This is a picture of Danelo without any facial hair on his face. Looks very young and definitely a different appearance. Keep your eyes open, folks. Be vigilant. This man is a dangerous, dangerous man, and we have no clue where he is at this moment. We have new information coming out from Chester County about the escaped inmate Danelo Cavalcante. We are now learning that Danelo has changed his appearance and has stolen a van and has escaped the search perimeter.
This is the one.
I originally reported that Danelo had stolen a van from the church that was raided. However, we are learning today the van that was stolen came from a dairy farm and is a refrigerated van. It is believed that he is in a 2002 Ford van, similar to this van here. However, the van that he stole had a refrigerated unit on the top roof of the van. Law enforcement is now offering up to $20,000 for the capture of Danelo Cavalcante.
Now, I have to be honest with you. So many people, when I put this out there, when I put this video out on TikTok, there was a lot of people that commented $20,000 is not enough. And, you know, at first I didn't think about it, but when those comments started coming in, I started thinking about it. And yeah, I'm sorry, but $20,000 for a man that has killed 2 women, that was just convicted of murder, that escaped from prison, that had this massive manhunt, and you're offering, to be honest, you can hear me. I'm you know, happy that $20,000 is being rewarded, you know. You know, so, but when those comments came in and I had to sit there and listen to their perspective and kind of, you know, take it all in, I had to agree with them that I think $20,000 is pale for a reward like this. I mean, this man has already spent millions and millions, probably tens of millions of dollars right now in trying to recapture this inmate that should have never been on the streets to begin with. And now we're finding out that, you know, there's $20,000. And again, $20,000 is a lot of money to somebody, right? But when you put it into context with the type of case this is, I don't know. I kind of agree with some of the comments related to the $20,000 may just not be enough. I don't know. Maybe we'll poll that. Maybe after I'm done with these little skits, we'll poll and see what they say. Hold on. It really is not risking your life to capture. $20,000 isn't really worth a life. Oh, no. This is just information. No, they are telling you if you see this man, you do not contact him. You do not touch him. Guys, this is a very dangerous man that has nothing to lose. You don't have to capture him for the $20,000. You just have to give them the information to capture him. You don't want to get your hands dirty. You do not want to approach this man. You just want to call in any and every tip about this man. If you see him, like, he's changed his appearance now, and I can tell you, he does not look the same. Actually, doesn't look like himself at all. It is amazing with the change of what this man looks like with facial hair and what he looks like without. Totally different appearance. Totally different appearance. He actually looks like a teenage kid. Many people are probably going to overlook this man because they are going to be looking for a 34-year-old man. And when this man's facial hair is missing, he looks like a teenager. That's what's scaring me. He can literally go on a freaking university campus and blend in. That scares me. That scares me. That scares me. I don't even know how to. It's bad. It's bad. I just saw somebody in here that I wanted to say hi to. My pal Sal. Miss Margaret's in here too. Good morning, guys. Crafty Chris. Oh, look, 3 people back to back. I haven't said hi to you. My pal Sal Vintage. It's nice to see you. Crafty Chris. Miss Margaret. It's nice to see you as well. Yeah, I heard somebody say, Sailor, you're right. So I went up and read your comment, and I was like, yeah, I just want to make sure everybody knows, especially on this channel. And I think it's very important that all social media creators covering this case emphasize, do not approach this man. Do not. Sometimes we don't think, hopefully in the back of your head, if you do find this person or you see this person, your first attempts not to point your finger, literally act normal. Don't bring any attention to yourself around this man. If you happen to run into him or happen to see him, act normal. Don't look weird. Don't act weird. Just get yourself into a locked bathroom. If you're in a convenience store, get yourself into a safe place and call 911 immediately. Do not approach this man. If you're in a convenience store and you're buying candy and you look up and the guy next to you is this Yahoo and he's buying candy, you grab your candy and go to the different aisle. Get as far away from this man as possible. Do not be an arm's length of this man. You can become a victim. You can become a hostage. We don't want to remove any type, because look, it's sad to say, and we don't want to point fingers at anybody, but this is something that law enforcement themselves have said. If people would have been following the directive, okay? Now, I'm not pointing fingers. People make mistakes. We all know. I mean, I'm Bullhorn Betty, all right? You guys have heard my life. I've given my life story out. I've made a lot of mistakes. I know nobody's perfect, and I don't prescribe that anybody be perfect. And not only that, but how boring would life be if we were all freaking perfect anyways, right? Sorry. Perfection is a fallacy. But again, if they would have taken caution and locked their vehicles, removed the keys, and Olivia and I talked about this, and he's like, how did he get the keys? And I'm like, look, you're talking to a lady that has been from this town for generations. I know for a fact that when you're on farms, it's so desolate out there to lock your stuff up. You don't have a need to take your keys out of your ignition because you have farm hands, and you just keep the keys in because whenever you're working on the farm, every minute matters, okay? Because you've got to get stuff done before the rain, before nightfall, before blah, blah, blah. And so these people are just doing their normal customary stuff, not thinking about this lunatic on the loose. And so they're doing all their normal operating procedures. The keys are left in the vehicle. People need to take the refrigerator truck. They go in, crank it up, get it where it needs to go. Okay, this is their standard operating procedures. They've never had to remove their keys from their vehicles before. They've never had to lock their house. They never had to, whatever. And so it was just an oversight. But again, if they would have just taken law enforcement's directive, they would have eliminated a way out for this man. This man is going to take every opportunity humanly possible to get ahead of law enforcement. We have to, as the public, there's a lot of public out there looking for this man right now. We saw a JLR on his live, people out there with binoculars, they shut the shooting club club down. People were heading there before they got the notice. They figured they're already halfway here. They might as well come out here with their guns and binoculars and see if they can see anything, you know? Right now, we just need to neutralize the situation, okay? Whether he goes back to jail or goes to the morgue. I mean, at this point, I really don't care. Get him off our streets before he hurts another person. You know, what if it's a kid next time? What if it's a grandmother? I mean, and that's the one thing, my pal Sal, he is a survivor. He lived in the jungle. I think the reason why he's been able to, listen, just hear me out. I don't know this for a fact. This is just my perspective. And this is what I think. And it's because I've watched stuff like this in the past. They sleep in the trees. They don't sleep on the ground. Sleeping on the ground makes them prey. So people from the jungles have a tendency of sleeping in trees. So if they're on the ground, looking on the ground at night, and they're not looking up, they may have walked right past him multiple times in their search efforts. And also, people are saying, well, they would be able to get them on the sonar. No. When you are in, and I've said this many times, if you watch this show many times, you will learn that sonar is only as good as the vision, okay? So when you're in a very dense tree line, you're not, if you notice even on those TV shows where the person exits the vehicle and starts running and they have the chopper up and they got the heat sonar on it, what do you notice? You notice you only see the body moving where? In between the breaks of the trees. When they're under those trees, when they're under that thick leaves and trunks and stuff like that, you don't see that body. You see it when he goes into an opening, you still see him which direction he's going. But when he's under those trees, if you don't believe me, go back to some of those foot chases where they had the planes and look at those tree lines. You'll see that every time he goes under a tree or under branches and stuff like that, he disappears. It's only in the breaks that you see the purple and the red and the yellow and the orange, kind of coming in, and then it goes off and then it blinks back on and then it blinks back off. That's them going under the trees. So even if they were flying around and had sonar out there, our heat penetrating, whatever, the wilderness is preventing them from being able to have a good sight into those trees. So it is possible. And I'm telling you, I have a funny feeling when all's said and done, we're going to find this man was sleeping in the trees while search efforts were underway. And you're talking about he'd have to find a big tree, but somebody that has this kind of experience and has lived in very poor conditions out in the Brazilian rainforest or forest or swamp or wherever he lived, doesn't matter. Brazil's a dangerous place. This man knows how to handle himself. Let's be honest. This man knows how to handle himself. He knows how to navigate. He's had to do this his whole entire life. He is an expert. He is expert in this terrain. He's an expert in this environment. This is where he excels the most, is this type of environment. And he's showing his expertise as he's eluding hundreds of law enforcement agencies, hundreds of law enforcement agents, and probably between law enforcement and population looking for him, you probably have the thousands of people searching for him that he's been able to elude. Ante. Again, Danelo has changed his appearance and he no longer has facial hair. Please look above at these photos, which give you several different angles of his face. Have you seen Danelo?
Escaped inmate Danelo Cavalcante. Police believe he is now in the Phoenixville area and warn he has changed his appearance. They've posted new photos of a clean-shaven man outside of a home in East Pikeland Township, Chester County. They believe this is the escaped killer.
In my head, maybe I'm still waking up. Maybe you guys are still waking up trying to figure this all out. Like how and when was he able to slip away? All those resources centered around Longwood Gardens. How did he get away? When did he get away? And it was interesting. They didn't give any press conference yesterday.
Law enforcement is telling residents in Chester County they lost the escaped inmate. Danelo Cavalcante. People in Chester County for days have watched the law enforcement agencies converge on their little community near Longwood Gardens in search of the convicted murderer that escaped from a prison in Pennsylvania. He is alleged to have scaled the wall of the courtyard where they exercise. Danelo is a convicted murderer and is on the run. We have learned this morning that yesterday morning, around 10:17 in the morning, a transit van was missing. It has now been confirmed that it appears Danelo Cavalcante has escaped the perimeter the law enforcement has set up and is now anywhere.
Action News reporter Caroline Goggin is live in Phoenixville with the very latest. Authorities are now shifting their search north from the Longwood Gardens area to right where you are, Caroline.
Yeah, Nydia, that is exactly right. And in the last hour and a half since we've seen you, we've actually shifted.
The one thing I don't like about streaming the TikToks from here is the lip syncing, the root in to the StreamYard and out. It throws the lips off. I don't know why, but it's not playing like that on my end. So there you guys have it. That's kind of the latest and greatest update. There's a lot.
We're learning right now as a press conference is going.
Yeah, and that's the press conference one, and we did that, and they just basically said we don't know how he escaped. We're dedicated to this. You know, there's a lot, you know, when I look at that area, there's a lot that can be said for that area being desolate, but they have rivers, you know, he can crawl under rivers. When he hears law enforcement, to be honest with you, in some of those areas, the water is really murky. And in somebody that's from the Brazilian, you know, area, whatever, in those forests and whatnot, would know to lay down in the water. You can lay down in the water and get one of those straw chutes. And dogs typically are not going to send you into the water. They could if you have a water dog, but different dogs have different scent, you know, training. Not all dogs and all scent training are the same. Like they have cadaver dogs; those are trained different than air and scent dogs. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. We actually have a video about the dogs that we did maybe a year and a half ago here on this channel that really broke down the different types of search dogs there are and how it's impossible to train one dog in all of these areas. That's why they have certain and specialized dogs in these areas. So there, you know, he could have laid down in murky water, heard the dogs, heard the cops, heard the search, and just went and laid down in the water and had a straw out of their mouth. And you wouldn't even know it because it blends in with the surrounding stuff. So you just see this little stick sticking out of the water. We've seen it all the time. Well, believe it or not, that's him breathing underwater. So, you know, there's a person out there in this environment knows how to do that. They know how to mask themselves. They probably have been an avid hunter for food and stuff. They probably know how to knock the scent off them. There's ways to knock the scent off you when you're out there in the wilderness. You know, rubbing yourself down with mud. There's a lot of things you can be doing. We don't see any photos with him of mud, you know, where he's covered in mud. I mean, we see him in the prison pants and the green, let me pull this back up so you guys can see it because I got his face on here. You know, the green hoodie and the hat and whatnot over here. You guys can see my cursor. Here's my cursor over here in the black, and then this is his face. But he looks really, really young. I think that's really it. He looks really young.
My first brother in jail.
That was it.
We are learning right now that law enforcement is changing their position in Chester County in search of this. There's heavy law enforcement presence in Chester County, Pennsylvania. This is a video coming out about an hour ago after there were reports of break-ins in the Chester County area.
So you guys have all seen that there were break-ins in the Chester County area. They believe it's Danelo. And again, we don't, you know, but I just want to make sure that everybody understands that anybody can go out there and record. Anybody can go out there, whether this one reporter has a stick up her butt that somebody else is outperforming her or not. It's not my problem. It shouldn't be anybody else's problem. When you're out there and you look to the right and you look to the left and all of the media is out there where you are, then they have no reason to complain. We all have the right to get the content. They are not privileged over any other media reporter and or content creator. I'm sorry, but I don't hear that crap when I'm out there. And quite frankly, this is the sad part. Things happen for a reason. I'm not there, right? I'm here in Florida. Had I known what reporter that was, I would have probably went up there and told her a little bit about herself very politely. Do better. That's going to be my message. Do better. Pointing the finger and complaining about somebody else, do better. That's my, if you don't like what somebody's doing and they have better numbers than you, then you're not doing good enough. That's the way I look at it. Because I truly believe if you're providing quality content, people will come. You don't have to beg for people to be on your channel when you provide quality content. I truly believe that. You don't have to fight for it. You don't have to put people down for it. You don't have to do any of that stuff, anything of that nature. Nothing. So at the end of the day, let's get on to what we're here to talk. Well, I guess we're here to talk about several different things. So this is what I'm hearing coming out. I believe that the reward fund is now increasing. It sounds like Layla's father or father side of the family has proffered $5,000. Jen Santanello's side has got a $2,000 reward. It sounds like between the two sides, there might be a $7,000 reward being offered to the location of Layla Santanello. There is reward funds being raised on the GoFundMe. I put the link to the GoFundMe in the description of this video. If you guys were on our Dollar Will Do campaign, if you guys can dig deep, and if you guys have $1 to contribute, $1 will do. This is crowdfunding. I realize that a lot of people, especially in this economy, are tight. But sometimes, we don't have that $5. We don't have the $10. We don't have the $20 to contribute, but all of us have $1. And so if that's your situation and you want to help this family and you want to help raise some more reward funds, $1 will do. The GoFundMe, and again, this is ran by Jennifer Santanello, her side of the family, or her friend. I don't remember what her friend's name that set this up was, but it's all done. And because I know a lot of people like to blame me for everything. I have no hand in it. I have no hand. I'm not a decision maker. I don't advise these people how to do anything. I give them my suggestions and I let them know those are my suggestions and why I made those suggestions. Connie Wells, thank you. So, and that's really all that that I do. Best practices. Just like when they were talking about PIs, I was very, very. I told her. I said, my opinion is, this is where your child's missing. You need a Tennessee licensed PI. You can't go wrong if you're dealing with a PI in your own state, And so far, I think she was very appreciative of that advice. I know that we're seeing the fruits of that. I'm glad that advice was given, because look at all this nonsense, this additional drama that was created by having a YouTube PI, an unprofessional YouTube PI. Now he's licensed. He's been licensed for a while. He's just think about it. He should be further along in his career than he is, and he's not. So he's a joke in his area of practice. He's a joke. Nobody takes him serious. None of these other PIs out in his area take him serious. I can guarantee him that. That's the one thing I can't guarantee a lot, but I can guarantee that nobody in his area takes him serious. And I guarantee he has not found 14 people in 2023. And I'm still waiting for the receipts of that, by the way. I'm still waiting for the receipts. Somebody that found 14 people can certainly, especially if you're a PI and document everything like you're supposed to, should certainly have the receipts to prove 14 people brought home in 2023 alone. That's what he said. Liar, liar, pants on fire. It's funny because we come out here, we don't have to lie about our credentials. We don't have to lie about who we are. We don't have to lie about who we help. You know what we do? We go out and do and put it out there so people can see. We don't try to hide, sneak, con, manipulate. You know, we don't need to do all that. We come out here and we do a good job for the families. We are staying focused to the victims and the victims alone. We're not getting distracted by all the other noise out there. And by doing that, it's uncomfortable at the beginning. But you know where our biggest ground's going to be met is closer to the end. All this stuff that we're doing here to keep us away from the drama, away from the noise, dedicated to finding Layla, dedicated to Layla and her information, making sure that the family has, you know, at least bodies out there to help. That's what we're going to continue to do. And we're going to continue to do that with love. And we're going to continue to do that free of charge to this family. We're not asking the family for one dime. We've never asked any family for a dime. I'm just literally shocked. Had he not argued with me for 3 days about how he does all this work pro bono for people, I probably wouldn't have a problem, you know, with this whole, we need to raise money to put in my pocket thing. You know, they're literally raising money over there to pay for a private investigator to be flown in and out of a state where the daughter went missing. I'm sorry, guys. I really think you need to consider. I understand the need to have you want to have your own private investigator. I understand that. I still recommend, even if you and Jen have separate private investigators, those private investigators be licensed, specifically licensed in the state that they're working, because you need boots on the ground to find your daughter. Boots on the ground. You don't need to be paying thousands and thousands of dollars to fly California PIN. Now, granted, if he was like his reputation was so gold that you would jump out of a plane to have this man search for your, like Dog the Bounty Hunter. Like if this family were able to get like Dog the Bounty Hunter to help them, and he said, hey, you know, I need, you know, flight money to get there, which I don't think Dog does. Maybe he does, but let's say if that's what he did, I would say, let's raise money and get him here. But this is some Yahoo, no name, doesn't even have a great reputation in the area that he's in. And now you're on the hook for every time he needs to do work in Tennessee. Now you're on the hook of paying his flight, his room, his gas, his car rental, his meals. Okay. I mean, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but that just doesn't sound like a good deal. I mean, to me, it just doesn't sound like a good deal. It sounds like they're being, I don't know. It sounds to me they're being conned or scammed. Why wouldn't this PI refer them to a reputable PI in Tennessee that can help them? Because he wants the clout and the attention. I know all over the United States, PIs share their clients. Like if they're in an area that they don't practice or is too difficult to get in and out or too costly, they'll say, hey, you know what? I've been doing this for 30 years. I know so-and-so in the state of Tennessee. He's very reputable, comes with a great experience, great work ethic, and you work out a commission split. You know, you work out, I'm going to send you this thing down, you know, whatever your charge is, you know, pay me 10% or pay me 20% or whatever the case may be. That's kind of how that aspect works, you know, a finder's fee, so to speak. If they're allowed to. Some license you can't do finder's fee. I don't know what the requirements are in California related to the finder's fee. But there could have been something that would have really helped. You know what I'm saying? Help this family. And I don't feel like he's helping them. I feel like he's using them. He's using them to help himself. And I have a problem with that. You know, we've never used a family to help ourselves, despite what our haters say. You guys come here, you watch me. We put everything we do out here, so there's no misconceptions. You take it for what you will. If you want to take it and turn it into something that it's not, it's your right to do so. But we put all the stuff out there. We put our receipts out there of what we do and how we spend our money. We put that out there. So I'm very cautious, because this guy seems to always want to be in the news, except when it comes to the work he does. And then all of a sudden his results are really hush hush, but he doesn't mind, saying, oh, I'm the PI for this. And, oh, I found 14. Well, if you found 14 people, it doesn't seem like you're shy from the camera, dude. So if you're not shy from the camera now, why can't you show us the 14 people you saved? Seems like an accolade you would want to be showing from here to there, right? Think about it. If we found 14 people, do you not think that those would be proudly presented on our community page, our community tab? Do you think that I would not have a interview with my local newspaper or some kind of national conglomerate? I would have, and he should have too. So where is it? I feel bad for Layla's dad and stepmom, because I feel like they're just now about to be just completely ran over, and you can't really tell them anything, because they've gotten, at this point, they need to learn for themselves. And it's just, we're going to be watching this train wreck go. We're going to watch these parents, the father and the stepfather, be used and abused and drug all over these YouTube channels for profit for these creators. Watch, mark my words. We don't do that. Remember, they've been saying that for 2 years, that's what we do. Watch and see. I guarantee it's not us doing it. That's all I can say. So, Alec Murdaugh. What is going on? Oh, yes, I do realize it's 9/11. It's the 21st birthday of 9/11. I was trying to contemplate whether to wear my shirt today when I got up or not, but I ended up supporting Quentin Simon instead this morning. But yeah, I have a 20-year anniversary of 9/11 that I wore last year. The reason why I really don't, my uncle last year on 9/11 passed away. So while I was out, enjoying the festivities of 9/11 and us just doing, remembering a 9/11 and what it really meant to us, my uncle passed away. So it was, I'm pretty sure maybe it is the 9/11, 2001. Yeah, it's 2023. It's the 2 year. Okay, so 22 years. But so then my uncle's been dead for 2 years now, because it was the 20th anniversary. So that means I must not have celebrated, which would make sense, because it was the first year after my uncle died. So this is the second year. But yeah, 2 years ago, I was out celebrating the 20th year of 9/11, and I get a call while I'm out with my friends. Everything's history from there. So we were going over, for those that are just tuning in, we've been going over for several days now, Alec Murdaugh. I don't know, we have several people in the chat today. Alec Murdaugh is an elitist out in Low Country, South Carolina. His family has a legacy. His family, the Murdaughs, have been the solicitor, which is the state attorney, in their county for almost or over 100 years, something like that. They are literally, this is the longest serving family in U.S. history as a solicitor, which again, the county prosecutor. So they've had these high esteemed positions for quite some time. Well, Alec Murdaugh has been utilizing that prestige and that trust to con lots of money out of his clients. He's caused a lot of destruction. And then his son, there was a few things, like Stephen Smith was killed in 2015. There was allegations that Stephen and Buster had some kind of relationship. It's never been proven, and it seems like the only time people talked about this relationship was after Stephen had passed away. So it could be a situation where somebody that did this to that boy may have been spreading rumors to get the heat off them. Very, very possible. But either way, the information that we have is that there's an alleged something between Buster and Stephen Smith. And then, of course, Stephen's grandfather comes out there immediately to help the family, and the mom couldn't understand why. The Murdaughs came up over 40 times in the investigation, but everybody turned their head. Stephen was, they tried to say that this was an accident, but the medical records didn't confirm that. It looked like he was hurt by blunt force trauma, not by being hit by a car. Long story short, a housekeeper died. He conned the housekeeper's kids out of millions of dollars in her settlement. And his son ended up getting drunk and killing a young girl by the name of Mallory Beach when they were heading back from Beaufort after having quite a lot of drinks. That Mallory Beach really sunk the Alec Murdaugh's family's boat, because the family didn't know he was conning, scheming, and stealing from all these people. And now they were just about to crack open his financials. And so he needed sympathy. He needed the case to go away. Next thing you know, a few nights later, his wife and son were brutally murdered out at the dog kennels that he said he was not at, that he had not seen his family. Then it started, the evidence started coming in. Not only was he was there minutes before they got killed. And this is in a desolate area where there's nobody around. So there was 3 people out there, 2 people are dead, 1 person's in prison, and then, everything's history from there. So then the defense counsel comes out and says, hey, we have new evidence. The clerk has some explaining to do. The clerk has been tampering with the jury. She put her hands on the scales of justice, and that's why Alec Murdaugh was found guilty. Not because he's guilty, not because the evidence pointed that he was guilty. And we all watched this trial go on, especially here on this channel. We discussed this in depth. We watched it firsthand as it was. She had such professionalism. The whole orchestration of that case was professional. And the evidence spoke for itself. Like, she didn't need to put her finger on the scales of justice and tip it in one favor or the other. It was such a strong case. And if it really was the book deal, the mistrial, in my opinion, would even have been more of the exploding ending, and more of the selling point than he was guilty. Because to be honest with you, I think everybody already knew he was guilty. So the guilty verdict would have been the one we would all perceive to be the ending. Can you imagine the ending having this explosive twist of him being the Murdaugh legacy wins again, because he's able to escape responsibility because he has the Murdaugh name, and they had a mistrial. Like, I could see this book being even more popular. Like, I really could. So none of this makes sense, and I have been very cautious, even though when I got a hold of the motion for new trial, and I came here and I told my audience, this does not look good. It really doesn't. It looks horrible on paper. Horrible. And then we start getting some new information in, and it starts changing. When I read this, because I was kind of like, it's just unbelievable. I don't think the clerk did it. It's hard for me to believe that the clerk did it to the likes of Alec Murdaugh and his team. And then I get this, and my heart sunk. I actually got to see and read this motion for new trial, and I have to be honest with you, my heart sunk into my stomach. I'm like, please, 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 clerk, don't do this. Please don't tell me we're going to be doing a new trial for Alec Murdaugh. Please, 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 please. So I started reading through this, and I started paying close attention to what was being said in the affidavits. And so I listened, I read, and I came here and told you guys I'm worried. I've never said that ever in the 2 years we've had this show about having a new trial for a conviction. I'm very, very worried. And then the ghostwriter came out. Now, I have to be honest with you. Her ghostwriter is believable. I mean, when he talked and you looked at his eyes, you looked at his body language, you looked at his words, he was just very inviting and welcoming type of person. And you could just talk to him and you could see that, you know, he just doesn't seem like he would have lied. He was a very believable person, sticking up for her, in my opinion. You know, he was just believable. I felt him. I felt he had no reason to lie. And then we heard Eric Bland's statements. And so then I'm thinking, okay, good, you know. And then I went back to the affidavit, and on Saturday we learned that these affiants are saying she said this to the entire jury body. She didn't say this to them individually. So there definitely should be a lot more people coming forward and jumping on board with this, you know, clerk telling them to, you know, don't believe Alec, don't believe the evidence. I mean, who does that? Anybody in the legal profession in a courthouse knows that that is illegal as heck. Nobody's going to put themselves in legal hardship, you know, put their freedom on the line. I don't know how to explain it, but it just doesn't seem probable. And I kept saying, even when I read this on Saturday, I'm like, or on Friday, we started on Friday, I'm like, guys, this really doesn't look good, and I'm hoping it's not. I don't know what to say. You know, I mean, even now, I'm like, I don't know what to say, because if this clerk did what they said she did, she's most likely going to go to jail, one. And two, we're going to have a new trial. I don't see her screwing her reputation up like that. And not only that, but when we found out from the ghostwriter that she went through the ethics commission before she published this book, and me having the background that I do and working in politics and having to file complaints against politicians, you know, having to, you know, be at meetings before the ethics commission and stuff like that on, you know, for somebody else or whatnot. I have to say that she did everything in the right protocol and right procedure. So if she's going to go through all of these extra steps to make sure she's in good standing to release this book, why would she need to put her hands on the scales of justice? It doesn't make sense to me. I'm still not believing it. I think these jurors have a lot of questioning to do. The last time we left off Saturday, we had just got done reading the excerpts from her book, Behind the Doors of Justice. And we kind of stopped right there, and we were going to be proceeding forward with Exhibit E and keep moving through all of this information. So far, everything that we've heard in these affidavits and in the information proffered by the defense, everything outside of the words have been normal and customary, something that I would normally see in a court proceeding, you know, with the clerk speaking with only the foreperson. She wasn't seen with any other person other than the foreperson. There were clearly some issues going on behind the scenes with the jury. So there are some explanations that would explain why she may have been having these private conversations with the foreperson. And then also in these affidavits, it was very problematic for me to hear that the clerk was speaking to the whole jury body when you're saying that she's pulling people aside and talking to them privately. Why would she be going to the whole jury body and telling him, don't listen to the evidence, don't trust Alec Murdaugh's statements, watch him closely, and all these other things? Why would she do that now? And why is no other jury member coming forward saying that they heard these things? You only literally have one other person, and we haven't even gotten to their affidavit yet to even identify what's truly in that affidavit. That should be, I don't know what exhibit that is, but that's further down here, because right now we've only had 630 in the affidavit of the person from his office. Those are all the affidavits we have. The other one was the attachment of the conversation under oath and in the presence of the judge about the Facebook post with the egg lady. That was all done above board, and it was all done in court. So we have all that. We have all that. So now is this Timothy Stone's Facebook post, and that's here. And it says, folks, I posted ugly posts yesterday, which I have deleted and kinda in a roundabout way directed it toward a certain person. And I would like to apologize to everyone who read it that ugly for me to do that. And yes, I let Satan control me, and I broke down and started drinking. And when I was drunk, I made the post. I'm sorry. So that's the post that they were talking about. So, and this is some of the comments that are in the post. Again, nothing that he obviously acknowledges that he did make the post. So the information that the clerk was relying on was as accurate as it could have been at the time. Now, if he was screwing around with the post and deleted it and everything else, that's not the clerk's fault. But she is required to make sure that the jury is not being affected by outside influences. That is her job. And clearly this juror was being affected by outside influences. Whether it was intentional or unintentional on the part of the juror, that's not of any consequence to the judge or to the clerk. They have to run an impartial jury, and that's what they need to do. And any deviation from that, they have to be very cautious of. And this was appropriate to remove her off the bench. Now, granted, they didn't have all the information and they needed to investigate. But during trial is not when you investigate that information, especially when you already have alternates that aren't coming with all these problems. They can be slid right in. We don't have time to deal with this. This is a trial. I can see where this stuff is happening behind the scenes. I can see it. Affidavit. This is the affidavit of Tim Stone. This is the drunk egg lady's ex that has 3 restraining orders against her. I am the ex-husband of blank. I did not post anything on Facebook, Walter Bird, word of mouth between January 2023 and March 2023. I did not post anything on social media page or my Facebook page. Okay, we're going to read this, but I call BS because we already have his statement here. Of his Facebook post. I'm pretty sure through proper investigation, see, Timothy Stone right there at the top, 4/16, 8:35 in the morning, him acknowledging removing it. So now this man is obviously was drunk at the time. He wrote this affidavit. He might need to be finding himself an attorney too, because he acknowledged that he wrote it. They have, and that's what I don't understand. It's they're attaching his email and then saying that he didn't post it. Or my own Facebook page about blank being a juror, or that was talking too much to friends and family about the case, or that Satan had gotten to me, and I've been drinking all the time. I posted and was now very sorry. Nor did I post the Exhibit A, which has been represented to me by an alleged post from Walter Burr word of mouth page and a court exhibit in South Carolina, Richard versus Alec Murdaugh trial. I do not have a Facebook page set up as Timothy Stone. My profile name is Tim Stone, and my Facebook page is blank. Now, again, just like anybody else, I bet you if you go right now and look up my ex-husband, you're going to find about, I don't know, 5 or 6 profiles for my ex-husband. 5 or 6 profiles for my ex-husband. Because every time he gets a new phone, he sets up a new Facebook account. He can never remember his username or password. It just is what it is. So, and not only that, but I believe this guy is a drinker. I believe this guy is a drinker, and I believe he probably stirred up some stuff. But, that's just my opinion. That's not fact. Just because I think it doesn't make it true. I was never contacted by law enforcement, the state South Carolina Attorney General's office, the clerk, Becky Hill, or anyone at the Colton County Court's office about Exhibit A or a post in Walter Burr. But you don't need to be contacted. You know who was contacted? The ex. She was brought into the judge's chambers, and the judge chose to dismiss her and put another person in her place. And so they're attaching the same thing, saying he does not do his name this way. I don't see why anybody else would be saying that about this woman and have that man's last name. It just doesn't make sense. This is a small community. Nobody knew people, people that are trolls don't know who the jurors are. They don't know who the jurors are. So this is somebody in their area doing it. And I believe it was him. And I believe he has to lie about it because he's got 3 restraining orders. And I think this would be a problem for him. I think there's reasonable explanations for all of this. Affidavit of P. Barber. Who is P. Barber? I appear before me, Tim Stone being fully sworn. I'm an attorney in the Richard Harpoolian. Okay, well, this is discredited already. The firm of Richard A. Harpoolian and counsel of record for defendant Alec Murdaugh. On August 18, I met with Tim Stone at his home, and he provided his Facebook login information and allowed me to download a copy of his Facebook activity from January 23rd to March. Did you do the download where you get all of it, even the deleted stuff, or did you just cut and paste whatever he kept on his page? Because we have a delete feature, and that delete feature removes any post from that data unless you go and get the actual data. Curious about that. A true copy of the download is Exhibit A. The content of the download speaks for itself, but review of them show no post was made on February 16, 2023. I think they need to find, they obviously have this post, so they've already logged in that Facebook page. They've got investigators on this. I'm pretty sure they're going to be able to find out if this was his page or not. But either way, there was obviously monkey effing going on in the court. They can't have that. The juror had to go. That is not the judge's fault. That's not the clerk's fault. That's personal issues. Personal issues that were going on in that juror's mind. So here's the second juror, the affidavit that we have. So let's go through this. Now remember the other stuff that we heard in the affidavits, everything was normal and customary except the juror saying that she told the jury body these statements. Those statements that clerk is not allowed to say. Let me be very clear. If that is true, she violated her oath of office. I've been very cautious about saying she violated her oath of office because I'd have to believe the allegations to be true, which I'm having a hard time believing the allegations to be true. Then I got the motion for new trial, and I read all of this, and it scared the crap out of me because it looked like Alec Murdaugh was going to have a new trial. But I also know there are 2 sides to every single story, and we have not heard the clerk's side to it yet. And now that some people are coming out, I truly believe the clerk is innocent in all this, and this is just another game, another game for the Murdaugh family. And I just I hope Dick gets sued once this is all said and done. It's time for him to retire anyways. He's looking like he needs to take a vacation. He's getting a little, old, a little exhausted, a little tired. Time to move out the way and, let some new, fresh blood come in. Sorry, Dick. I speak my mind. Might be hurtful, but it's the truth. I was juror 785 in the case of South Carolina versus Alec Murdaugh, tried in Colton County, South Carolina. During the presentation of the defense case after President Day, but before Murdaugh testified in his own defense, Colton County Clerk Rebecca Hill told the jurors, multiple, plural, that right there, told the jurors not to be fooled. Okay, so this is, now you're talking about a body, a collective body of people. She's not hanging out there in that area. She is not in that room. You know what I'm saying? She's not in the room with the juror. There's protocol and procedures that gets her in that room to speak to them, but she's just not in there hanging out. And the bailiff can certainly attest. Yeah, you got 2 people that are officers of the court in there. What did the bailiff say? Did the bailiff hear her say this? And if the bailiff heard her say this, why did the bailiff tell the judge? Doesn't make sense. But She told the jurors, the whole jury body, not to be fooled by the evidence presented by Mr. Murdaugh's attorney. In late February 2023, Ms. Hill questioned me about a Facebook post on the Walterboro Word of Mouth page. She summons me to speak with her alone in an office in the courthouse. She told me someone emailed her about a post my ex, Tim Stone, purportedly made. So this is Egg Lady. Purportedly made, which purportedly stated that I made comments to him about the guilt or innocence of Mr. Murdaugh. She directly asked me whether I was inclined to vote guilty or not guilty. I told her I had not made up my mind and wanted to hear all the evidence before deciding. Ms. Hill said the post said that I had been drinking with my ex-husband and that while drunk with him, I expressed my opinion on his guilt or innocence of Mr. Murdaugh. So that explains why she was asking that question. If this is true. Now, you got a woman that feels a little embarrassed here, you know, we have to take that into consideration. Okay, we know as females how we can be, whether you want to acknowledge it or not. Not my problem. I acknowledge that when you hurt my feelings, I can be vindictive. I'm totally aware that that's how I can be. Totally aware. And I don't lie about it. And when I do it, I own it. Because you know, I'm an adult. You know, if you don't like it, oh well. Ms. Hill said the post said I had been drinking with my ex. Okay, so I didn't go drinking with my ex. In fact, I had not seen him in approximately 10 years. I asked to see the post, but Ms. Hill would not or could not show it to me. I have never seen it. And to my knowledge, no one has. That's not true. Well, maybe that is true. The original post, I think, is a little skewered. Later that day, Ms. Hill told me SLED and Colton County Sheriff personnel went to my ex-husband's house. He purportedly confirmed he made the post. She told me she would reinstate a restraining order I previously had against my ex-husband. I didn't know about the apology post referencing Satan until Ms. Hill's book was published. I have since reviewed the post and can definitely state the post is not by my ex-husband. He does not go by Timothy on the profile. It is not him in the phrasing of the post. And it could be a troll. Nobody's saying that it's not a troll. I don't think Becky Hill went out of her way to set up a Facebook profile to thwart this jury off the juror off this jury. I mean, it doesn't, like, sorry, clerks of courts. It's just like this Yahoo PI that wants to sit here and argue with me for days on end. Professional PIs don't do that, right? Clerks don't do that. I hate to burst your bubble. It just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So let's see, where are we? So she's saying it's not him. When Ms. Hill first asked me about the Facebook posting purportedly made by my ex-husband, I showed her a picture of my ex-husband. For that reason, I now believe she always knew the apology post referencing Satan was not posted by my ex-husband. So now she's trying to make a statement on what she feels. Becky, that doesn't fly in a court. You can't say it is my belief that she knew. How are you going to prove she knew something? How are you going to prove Becky Hill knew something? That's your thought. It's not. It will never be supported by fact. So just a lot of stuff in here that I see. On March 2nd, 2023, the day of the verdict, I received a call from my ex-husband, Tim Stone. And I was getting on the bus to travel with the rest of the jurors to the courthouse. I did not answer. The phone call upset me greatly, and I asked to speak with the clerk of court, which I did by telephone using bailiff Mr. Bill's phone. You see how that works? Remember, we talk about the bailiff. We talk about the proper chain of command to get to the clerk. Again, a lot of stuff here outside of what they're saying that Miss Hill said, physically spoke out of her mouth. Everything here is normal and customary to me when it comes to the comings and goings of a courthouse. Now, I know a lot about this stuff. Now, I don't know once you get from the jury room behind those doors what happens. But I can tell you, I have been to many court hearings. I've seen exactly how the clerk acts and is supposed to act, and I see exactly how the jury's supposed to be and how they're supposed to act. I personally have been through trials, physically sit in courthouses and watch the trial. I have done that multiple times. I know the comings and goings of those courts. I know what is normal and customary procedure inside a courtroom. These types of things seem normal and customary. Again, with the exception of the language, the words that she said to the jury. The clerk should not be making any of those types of statements to any jury member. Ever. I told her I was scared, and she said the Murdaughs probably got to him. Miss Hill then asked me questions about my opinion regarding Murdaugh's guilt. She asked if I was leaning one way or another. I told her that Creighton Waters' closing was good, but I still had questions. She asked me what kind of questions. I replied, questions about the guns. She asked me what would make me think he is innocent. I stated no murder weapon was found. She then asked, well, what makes you think he's guilty? I said Paul's video at the dog kennels. She then stated that everything Mr. Murdaugh had said had been lies, and that I forgot about the guns. They would never be seen. Forget about the guns. They would never be seen again. This, if true, is highly inappropriate. If this conversation actually happened, but she's saying that the clerk said a lot of statements to the entire jury body. So it seems to me that is going to be easily proven guilty or innocent, whether it's true or not true. Let me just say it like that. It seems to me if these words were spoken by Becky Hill to the entire jury body, we can bet our butts that it is most likely that, sorry, I lost my train of thought. That it is most likely that she didn't, what was I saying? I just, literally the stuff just was here and it literally went like that. What are they talking about? Oh, the highly inappropriate comments. If this was said, then forget it. But I don't see how this is going to be proven, because it's going to be her word against Becky Hill, and Becky Hill is the clerk. She's going to, no matter how you look at it, they have to prove this beyond a reasonable doubt. Not a preponderance of evidence, a reasonable doubt. And I don't see how they're going to be able to prove a private conversation from a person that obviously seems to be very hurt by the fact that she was kicked off the jury for something her ex-husband did. So you got to take that into consideration. I'm not saying that she's lying in this. I'm not saying that she's telling the truth in this. I'm just saying that we need to look at it from both angles. And so far, outside of the words that is alleged that Becky Hill said, everything seems normal and customary here. Having these type of guilty or not guilty conversations with a jury member is highly inappropriate. Now, if for whatever, I still think it's highly inappropriate, but if she already got word from Judge Newman that this juror was going to be, they're going to have to put in an alternate for this juror, then she could have asked that juror anything she wanted to, because she knew that juror was getting off the jury and was not going to be voting on the matter to begin with. We don't know what the situation is. I still think it's highly inappropriate. These kinds of conversations, if they happen, I'm going to keep saying if they happen, because I do not believe in the life of me that that the clerk did this. I'm sorry. I just can't. Is there some issue? Yeah, you guys should know I don't pay attention to anything in here. Listen, here's the rules for my mods. I want to make sure my mods know the rules in here. So if you guys see somebody out of hand, I don't deal with comments. I don't deal with the hoopla. I rely on you guys to do that. If I see something that catches my attention that needs to be deleted, I will delete it. But the mods need to be, this is how our rules go. If you see something inappropriate, remove the comment and give the person a warning. If they do it again, put them in timeout. By the third time, if they still haven't gotten it together, block them. Permanently block them off the channel. If they don't want to be here and can't act like an adult in here, we don't need them. This is an adult channel for adult people to have adult and intelligent conversations. And if we have children, adult children in here, they need to go back to school and learn something. So I heard it was a specific person. Is that person out of here now? I'm hoping. That was distracting that I'm seeing. Oh, okay. So she was basically saying, I'm asking for money. Well, you guys can go back. I mean, I don't delete anything from my lives. I don't put these things into there. I never delete my content whatsoever. So you guys can go do your due diligence and check. But I can guarantee I've never asked for one dime for this trip. And just because you're up the cock of that asshole PI, excuse my language, people. I don't like using that language. It's not my problem. You go back to them. We like strong people over here that can handle their business with grace and respect. Go back to your weak side people. And trust me, I'm going to say that because at the end of the day, I really don't care for your click or your view. I don't need your money. I don't need your monetization. I'll do as I damn well please. I don't have my hand out to this family begging for money. That the PI does. So let's get that clear right now. He's conning this family. He's got to be flown in just to do his job every time he needs to do his job. It's ridiculous. It's a joke. He should be ashamed of himself. And there's going to still be assholes out there that's going to go, oh, Steve, you're so sweet. You're so good. Oh, my God. We know you hate Bullhorn Betty, so we're going to be over here supporting your garbage because of our hate. Again, children, go away. Like literally go away. We don't need your shit. I then went to the jury room. Approximately 10 minutes later, I was excused from jury. So she knew she would. So if that woman was asking her questions, maybe she found out some information and she wanted to verify whether this woman was talking to those people or not. Maybe it was reported that she said she was going to vote not guilty, and so she was asking her. She was already on her way out the door. I don't know how to take this affidavit. I really don't, because I kind of already have a chip on my shoulder and kind of biased to begin with because I don't believe any of this, and it's kind of hard to make me believe it. Even after this, I told you I didn't believe it. We got this, and I told you I was concerned, and if true, we're screwed. We're going to be going back to trial. Then we start hearing some more information, and guess what? I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. I'm glad I trusted my gut instinct at the beginning. I don't believe it. I didn't believe it then. I started getting worried when I started reading this, but more information's come out, guys. I'm sorry. I just don't believe it. I just don't believe it. So we're going to do about the in-camera conference. This is Exhibit I, J, and K. I, J, and K we will do tomorrow. We're at the top of our 2 hours. I wanted to open up the panel for all of you, but first there is a video that I just want to watch. Guys, don't forget, it's going to be all hands on deck in Kingsport, Tennessee, September 17th. We're trying to find our location where everybody's going to be meeting at. We don't know how many people are going to come out and help volunteer. It could be 2 people. It could be 100 people. We just want, oh, hey, Robin, nice to see you, love bug. We just want anybody and everybody that's willing to be out there and clear some areas to come out and help us search for Layla Santanello. Again, that is scheduled for, it's Sunday, September 17th. And you guys get to hang out with me on my birthday. So it's going to be super special. Last year, I was looking for information to the whereabouts of Michael Vaughn. This year, for my birthday, I will be helping look and search for Layla Santanello. Where is it I want to help? It's going to be in Kingsport, Tennessee. Kingsport, Tennessee is where we are going to be on September 17th to kick off our search party. Please, guys, anybody and everybody, if you guys would like to go, ask your favorite creators that are out there that love to help support families and search activities. If you know of a good friendly content creator, please ask them to pass this information around to their audience as well. September 17th, If people would like to participate, they can reach out to me at bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I will give you guys all the details. We have a flyer. I need to get that up and posted and out of here. Good morning, all. Nice to see you, Lisa. For everyone, want to try to come to Kingsport if I can, about an hour away for me. Perfect. And I figured Sunday is a good day because, you know, Saturday, a lot of families are out, you know, doing stuff with the kids. You know, it's their first day off before work. And I figured, you know, a lot of people on Sunday like to kind of relax and lollygag. And well, what a better day than to be outside searching for a missing loved one and really helping a family in need. And I just thought Sunday was a perfect day. Again, it's my birthday, and I would love nothing more than to see a whole bunch of people coming out and we utilizing my birthday for good, And that's what we're out to do. We're out to do good. We're out to make changes in this world. We're out to show people that there are a lot of differences. And we also show people that you can go through the worst life in the world and still wake up one day and just change everything about you and be able to be somebody completely new and have an amazing life. And I know that that can happen because I live it each and every day. I went from a taker to a giver, and we give. We give back to our community. We give back to society. We try to empower women. We give you guys best practices. We tell you what you want to hear, we tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You know, it's very easy for me to say acting like a fool's okay here in this, no, it's not. It's never okay. Two wrongs don't make a right. And hypocrisy has no place on this channel. We don't come from a place of hypocrisy. If somebody wants to protest, I absolutely support it. Why? Because I'm a First Amendment person. So, you know, why would I not support somebody else's First Amendment right to protest? What I don't like is illegal work, harassing people online, cyber stalking them. That is illegal. Being out in the street with a bullhorn, not illegal. I just want to remind that to people, you know. But we have a lot of work to do. We've got a lot of work for Layla Santanello. We need to clear areas. And so anybody and everybody that would love to come out, there's not a minimum amount of time. If you want to come out and help us for an hour, if you want to come out and help us for 2 hours, if you want to come out and help us all day, we just need help. Body is a body, right? As long as your body is able to walk and you have eyeballs to be able to see on the ground, that's the qualifications, folks. That literally is the qualifications. You don't need a college degree. You don't even need a high school degree. You know what you need? You need a kind heart and a willingness to go help. That's it. Pretty simple, huh? Pretty simple. And that's what we're going to do. So September 17th, mark your calendars, Kingsport, Tennessee. If you guys would like to participate, reach out to me. I will give you guys the details that you need. I would love to see a big, beautiful search team out there helping this wonderful family find their missing loved one. Now, we may not find anything, but hopefully we can turn reports in and let law enforcement know that these areas were clear. And at the end of the day, that's the name of the game. It's help. And so we want to get out there and help. So God bless everybody. I was going to let me turn the phones on for a little bit. Let me just turn the phones on just for a little bit. I've been trying to turn them on. I know I haven't been very good about doing this. Oh, and I haven't been very good about thanking everybody that has been the sponsor of this beautiful stream. So who do we have? Philippians Hearts. We have ex-sailor, new member, and 18-month member. Says 8-month coffee club. God bless you. Julie, it's nice to see you all. 7-month member, Morning Betty and Coffee Club. Pat Gaines, love you, Betty. I love you too. Thank you, love. And a 6-month member. You guys make my day. I have to be honest with you. You guys really perk me up, you know. I don't know what. Can I get? Yeah. It's really easy. Guess what my email is? bullhornbetty@gmail.com. bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I'm not going to laugh at you, Regina. I'm not going to laugh at you. All right. I'm laughing at you. I'm just joking. Oh, Chrissy, it's nice to see you as well. Oh, TD. It's nice to see you. Oh, Lady O. Good morning. Good morning. Let me get these phones on. It's like every time I turn around, my hands stop moving. It's like, okay, Andrea, get these things up. Come on. Come on, Andrea. It's Monday. Let's get the brain cells working. Monday, Manic Monday. So the phone lines are on. Oh, that was quick. Hold on. I got to get you on my. There we go. Ah, this is Betty. Hello. Oh, there you go. This is Betty.
Hello.
Hello. All right. Bye. He was just calling in when that person ended up hanging up. I'm back. This is Betty. All right. If anybody else wants to call, I'm not answering that phone number anymore. It's the 5th time you call. I'm sorry. You're going to have to call back tomorrow. Yeah, we're going to do it. So let me go ahead and block that call since they're going to be disruptive. Give me just a second. Ah, there we go. Well, hello. Can you hear me? Why am I not hearing anybody out of the phones? Mic not working. Hold on, guys. I think I'm having some technical issues. I don't know what's going on. Mic settings. Oh. Let me try it now. This is Betty.
Hi, you are my sunshine, my own.
This is Betty. Okay, well, apparently the phone line's not going to be working today because, there, I think it's Turkey Man. Hello?
Hello?
There he is. So you can hear me
Hello?
now.
I hear you, but way back in the canyon somewhere.
Oh, Lord, I've never had that, but I've been having some issues with my my mics because it wasn't picking up my new mic. I got a sound card coming in. I got a new sound card, and it wouldn't work the second monitor, so I had to send it back and get a different one.
Well, I can hear you barely. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, you should be hearing me better than barely. My volume should be all the way up. Let me see.
Well, I can make you out. I don't know what's going on really, but anyhow, I was just going to give you a shout. And where was you at when 9/11 happened?
I was sitting in an accountant office. I was 20 something. I worked for an accountant, and I was the receptionist. This was before I ever even went to paralegal school. I think I was like maybe 18. I was just a tiny little thing. I can't remember what I was. And I remember the guy, I don't know if he's even still alive anymore, but Larry Croy, he was a CPA. I worked for Croy and Tim. And he calls me. He's like, go into the office and turn my TV on. Go into the office and turn my TV on. I said, what's going on? He goes, get Doug. You go into my office. Get Doug. Go into my office. Turn the TV on. I'm like, Doug. He's like, what? I said, Larry's on the phone. He says, you need to come into his office and turn his TV on right now. And I remember going and turning it on, and there was not one station not talking about and we were watching in real time as the second plane was coming into the second tower. And I remember watching it literally collide and my heart just sinking. But I remember exactly where I was. And I remember President Bush was at a school in Sarasota. I freaked out. Like, I was ready to run out of my office because I'm like, they're after this president. The president's in Sarasota right now. He was with kids. He was doing some kind of classroom thing. And I remember seeing the Secret Service reach over, whisper something in his ear, and him get up and walk right out.
You there?
Yeah, that was it.
Okay. I was making sure that you still wasn't still talking.
Can is the volume bad for me on everywhere related to this? Can you guys hear me, or is it just because I don't know how to fix this? I've never had this issue.
I hear you good now because I pulled my speaker was not on, so that's
okay, gotcha.
It was me a lot.
Okay.
Then you went, there's a little dead space there. I remember where I was at. I'll never will forget. In fact, I shared this yesterday to the congregation. I always try to take an opportunity for us to remember and never forget what took place and what it's about. But I was coaching high school ball, and I played a harmonica a little bit. And the school that I was coaching at was K through 12. Okay. So I went down to the auditorium. They asked me to come down there and play for the kids in third grade and under my harmonica, because they was studying some kind of character. It was in their book reading that played harmonica. And so as I was playing a harmonica and I got through and enjoyed being with the kids, I come out.
Thank you, Miss Robin. Sorry, go ahead.
They said that the plane had hit the World Trade Center, and so at that time they thought it was an accident. And I like you, I get to the television and observe it, and here comes the next plane in, and then the next plane. And what was so real to me at the time was my wife and daughter and my mother-in-law went to California, took a plane trip to see my brother-in-law, lived in California, and we were trying to get tickets to go out there and make that trip, and we went about 2 or 3 weeks prior to this happening, just a small time frame. And if we hadn't got the tickets, it looked like we was going to have to go this particular time frame. And I think how close it come from our family being in that scenario, and how things changed so much in that 2 or 3 weeks period of time, because we was taking a trip that they fed you on the plane, and I remember that the silverware that they brought to us, of course we paid for it, and I saved the knife, fork, and spoon as 4 settings. I said, save them. I said, and I use them this day to camp as my camp silverware, and how that stopped instantly. That we had real silverware 2 or 3 weeks before that, and now you couldn't even get a plastic fork.
Yeah. Well, it's crazy because now every time I go out to the island, they have paper straws. I don't get that either, but either way. But.
No, but I mean, it's how I think it changed us forever, and it's been changed. But I think we need to take a deep look and remember, because it's not been that long ago, guys.
No, it hasn't. We remember it.
21 or 22 years.
22 years.
Right. But anyhow, I just want to get across and talk to you there. I got tickled at.
Did you respond to my email? I sent you an email.
I have not got it, but I'm telling you what, I'm having a terrible time of what I was talking to you about.
I did send you an email. I did send you an email.
Did you send it to
the email that you texted me? Yeah, I sent an email, but I didn't have a response back.
Okay, I'll check him to see if he got it.
Okay.
But did you notice anything we did?
Huh? No, when I looked at the first one, I think it's a troll or something. It's gonna be a very easy fix. I can tell you that.
Okay. Well, they're affecting us growth. Having growth, because I feel like we worked hard. We worked hard to try to be better at what we do.
Yeah.
And I knew that you would set me right, and that's what I wanted to.
Yeah, I didn't see anything improper there, and even the little clip that you used would have fell under fair use because it doesn't. It really you didn't really play anything of it, so you got no problems.
Well, I appreciate you, sister, and hope you have a great day and never forget.
Oh, thank you.
Forget.
And I have my
God bless you.
sign. I have my sign from like 4 years ago still up in my window. I've never taken it down, and it's from 9/11, and it says "Never Forget." It's been in my window for years.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe you can get another 2 or 3 calls in to share where they was at. And,
yeah.
I'll get off so somebody else can get in.
All right. Take care.
God bless you.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
We didn't get our turkey call when you left. What's up with that? What is up with that? That's okay. Oh, let me make sure that, the lines are still on if anybody would like to call in. Well, we're going to be, piping it down, but let me show you. I'll show you. Hold on a second. If the phone rings off, you got to wait till I get back. I was in a car caravan, so these were stapled all over our cars, and I've had this in my window for years. And believe it or not, good paper, huh? I mean, like hardly any fading. Hardly any fading. It's been in my windows for years. Hardly any fading. Never forget. Never forget. Every time I walk into the house and every time I leave the house, I see that message all the time. So yeah. So it's been it's been a while. I love our country, and I hate the fact that for whatever reason we all just can't get along. 2023, everybody needs to be. I don't need to be a winner. I just do what I do because it's the right thing to do. I mean, I'm not in here for the clicks, the views, and all this other stuff. I provide a good service, quality content, and utilize the funds that I make to help other people. Like that is a winner chicken dinner all day long. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and kill the phones. I wish we could talk more about what we did for 9/11. Hopefully you guys can have a great day today. And I'm going to try to go through everything and make sure we have all of our Crotchgate and Flygate thumbnails. If you guys want to get your Crotchgate, Flygate thumbnail in, now would be the time. If I don't have it by noon, it's not going to be part of this crew, part of this drawing. I don't know what it is. So anyways, get your Crotchgate, your funniest Crotchgate and Flygate thumbnails in, and we will see you guys back here tomorrow. We're going to finish up. We're going to finish through all of the Alec Murdaugh stuff, whatever is going on. I may come back later today, depending on how the search is going for Danelo Cavalcante. So we'll keep updated on that. Just again, if you guys are on TikTok, consider subbing me up on TikTok. I dropped like yesterday. You guys got one video over here. I dropped about 4 or 5 videos over there. So if you guys would like to see entertainment all day long, new updated information, I'm putting, videos 3 minutes or less over on TikTok, videos 3 minutes or more over here. And then of course, all of my live coverage is brought to you primarily from YouTube. So God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And I just remembered, I just saw a notice come in here. 5 gift memberships from Julie. Julie, thank you. And God bless you for those 5 gifted memberships. Guys, make it a great day. God bless.